bonjour, come on, Teddy Boo, and welcome to We Talk. Man, I had to struggle through that one, man. My fingers got tied up on me. But anyway, we're glad that you all are here. I know everybody's trying to get to that playoff game, and I am too. So we're gonna keep it kind of short tonight, but we still gonna give the same impact that we always do. All right. But first of all, we want to welcome you, and we hope that you had a great week so far. And if not, if you've been here before, you know our goal is to always make it better, all right? So, in usual fashion, if you've been here before, you already know what the drill is. You got to have your drink so we can toast up. And the reason we toast up is because we salute all of you because we know you're doing a great job at whatever it is you're doing. So continue, and no matter what anybody says, just keep going and never stop. So here's everybody on the line. Now, last week we discussed what is more important in a relationship. The person who loves or the person who is loved more. So we're not gonna talk about that tonight, but we had a great discussion. So if you want to check it out, please do. It's on my Facebook page. But before I bring my co-host on tonight, we're gonna talk about something that I know most of us have not really thought about, but it's something that's very important. And as you know, all our topics are very important and life lessons. So tonight we're going to talk about is success determined more by hard work? And we've all been taught that as kids. Work hard and you can get anything you want. That's what they tell us, right? And it may be true, tell us, right? And it may be true to a certain extent. But is it determined by more by hard work or more by hard work or by opportunity? Because if you don't get opportunities, I don't care how hard you work, you ain't going to get nowhere. And if you have opportunities and you don't know how to identify them and seize the opportunity, you aren't going to get anything that way either. But without further ado, let me go ahead and bring my co-host on. And we hope that you all have your drink because it's going to help this one go down. All right? So hold on one second. All right. I think I've invited everybody. So we're going to see. Hey, what's going on, Keith?
Yes, sir. What's up, big OG?
Oh, man. Living life twice and loving every minute of it. I can't complain, man.
Hey, man, life is great. People don't understand. You make a choice, man. Once it's great, it's always great, no matter what. Yeah,
That's
man.
right.
Yeah,
Man,
man.
look, it's up to you to decide how great your day is going to be. If you start off complaining or finding something wrong, then of course your day is going to go that way. But if you
Yeah, man.
appreciate the little things, you're going to be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying this weather down here, man. We had rain for the last couple days, and the day was in the 70s, and the sun was shining, so it was great to be outside.
Yeah, it's that June time. We hitting like 90s the next couple of days, but yeah, it's cool. I'll take it. I'll take 90,
Yeah,
95. I prefer heat over cold, so yeah, I'll take the
you
heat. That's
already
cool.
know.
Yeah, I'll take the heat
You
all day.
already know.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yes,
So
indeed.
yeah, so like I said, everything is good. I just can't believe we're in the 6th month of the year. That's all. It's just crazy how fast 2026 is going already. But
Oh, it's going, brother. It's
yeah,
going.
man.
Yeah. Hey, Maya, how are you? Glad you could join us. Let me see
Yeah.
who else we got.
Shout out to Callie too. I saw something. I gotta listen to it on a TikTok. She dropped a single. Shout out to Callie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Callie's doing her thing, man. She's doing her thing.
that's
High
what's up.
Public Loyalty, how are you? And S Base, S3 Base, how are you? All right. Let me see. I want to shout everybody out so we can get started. Princeton to SC, shout out to you. Mr. Lover, shout out to you as well. Edward, and whoever sent the flash gold, thanks for that. And how you doing, Unity? Glad to see you. All right. Well, I sent Miss O'Neill request key, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I guess she might be having a little difficulty getting on. All right. Hi, Slide. How are you? All right. So let's get on with it. Like I said, we're going to be talking about, is success determined by hard work, or is it determined by opportunities? Now, that's a unique question in itself, and I know none of us have probably thought about that, but I thought about it as we were coming up with this discussion topic.
Say that
And it
again.
kind of made,
Say that again. Say it again. Say it again, please.
what's the topic?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The topic is success determined more by hard work or by opportunity?
Mm.
Oh yeah, hey, it's gonna be one of them head scratches. It's gonna get you. We're gonna motivate some thinking here. You know.
Wow.
So this should be pretty interesting, and we welcome your comments as we've always said in the past. We welcome your comments and your perspective. All right, and keep in mind these are our opinions. We aren't professing to be experts in psychology or any of that stuff, but we do have a lot of research that we do on our own, and we've got a wealth of experience. So you can draw upon that if you would like to. Okay, so all right, in the case of hard work develops skills, discipline, and persistence. So that's what hard work does. Hard work actually develops work skills, discipline, and persistence. Now, we all know that we all come from different backgrounds and circumstances. Some are more difficult than others, and many overcome difficulty throughout their lives because of their determination. Without effort, even great opportunities are often a waste of time. If you don't have the effort or the work ethic, then it's a wasted opportunity. Success frequently involves years of sacrifice and preparation. So when you're going to trying to be successful, it often involves years of sacrifice and preparation. And a common argument is that opportunity may open the door, but hard work is what gets us through that door. Now, I can agree with that. Your hard work is necessary in all circumstances. So the opportunity can open the door for you to exercise what you've learned and what you've rehearsed and whatever your talent is. But the work itself is what gets us through it.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say okay. So first thing is, we all know success is a journey, but here's the one thing that I learned through my little travels that I've been through is that success is when opportunity and preparedness, as you discuss, when they meet. And you don't know when those two things are going to meet. So you have to be prepared, because if you're not prepared, you won't even see the opportunity. And that's what people don't realize. But I'm going to give it back to you on that.
Yeah, but see, and that's a key point, because a lot of people wish and hope for opportunities, and if they aren't prepared, they aren't even going to recognize it when it comes. So you're exactly right. I think Oprah once said that opportunity is when you opportunity and luck meets or something like that. But
Yeah, same thing. I
nevertheless,
mean, luck.
yeah,
I'm not a big luck fan in the sense of luck, but I believe in when we say luck, I believe it's a lot of different definitions of what people mean. I believe in like what you say. The harder you work, the luckier you get. You know, so we just
absolutely.
say luck. Fine, we use the word luck. Yeah, that's because you put yourself in a position to get lucky. You don't get lucky not being in position. I guess we'll say it that way. You don't get lucky not being in position. You get lucky being in position. Yeah.
Hey, that's a great way to say it because I wanted to touch on that point. You're right. You don't get lucky just because. You get lucky because you're in the right position. You've got the right heart condition, or your circumstances guides you to whatever that luck may be. A
And you
lot
made
of
the
people,
sacrifices that you spoke about because you just spoke about the sacrifices you have to
absolutely,
make to get to these points, right? So those
absolutely.
sacrifices had to be made without you can't monetize that. You can't like it's just you're putting it out there. You understand what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right. Oh
that's why
yeah.
those blessings come back the way they come. That's what you're saying. I agree with you. Yes.
Absolutely. Man, we got quite a few in here. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. You could have been anywhere else, but we're glad that you're here with us. And that's the third time I sent DeJoya a request, so I don't know what's
She
going
might
on
need
with
to
her.
reboot her phone. If she's listening, reboot your phone and you know what I mean, come back in. Yeah, if she reboots her
Absolutely.
phone and like comes back in, I bet you it'll probably all pop right back up. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Okay, so we already said in the case of hard work develops skills, discipline, and persistence. Now, in the case of opportunity, people are born into very different circumstances. We're all born into different circumstances and situations. Things like access to education, mentors, money, healthcare, and networks can create an advantage. If you're born with those resources, access to education, you have strong mentors who are willing to sacrifice their time to see that you're successful. Money, of course, that's a no brainer. And a lot of times people overlook this one, but healthcare is very important too. Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to perform at your optimum peak. So, healthcare is very important for successful people. And also, um, any networks. I'm a strong believer in networking, but I believe you have to be in the right room. To be around people when you aren't prepared, that gains you nothing. And to be around the wrong people, that gains you nothing either. I put up a post on my Facebook that says, I don't care how smart you are, or how intelligent, or how many great ideas you have. If you're locked in the basement, nobody's going to know about them. So you have to have a way, you have to showcase whatever it is. And what I mean by showcase, that means getting into the right room, surrounding yourself with the right people. Now, how often have we, in this, everyone knows that I'm in the music business, and Keith is as well. How many times have you been to showcase upon showcase, talked to labels and all kind of A&Rs and did all sorts of different things to try to get on? Any up and coming artist knows exactly what I'm talking about. You got to do the showcases. You got to sell your CD out of your trunk. You got to try to get in touch with someone who's in the industry in hopes that they will give you a break. If that never happens, I don't care how great your music is, you're not going to get on. Now, there's a lot of politics in that, but that's for a whole different live. I don't want to discuss that here, but you have to get into the room and surround yourself around with the right people. Two people can work equally hard. Two people can put out the same amount of effort in their work ethic, and they will achieve very different results. And that's because one has more opportunities. So one that has the most opportunity has the better chance of being successful. So even though they both have the same work ethic, all things being even, if the one person does not gain any opportunities, then he won't be successful. He or she won't be successful. But the person that works hard and has the opportunity, they better their chances for success. Timing and luck, just like we were just discussing, timing and luck plays a very important part in success. Now, a lot of people don't believe in being lucky. You know, I'm telling you, things don't happen just to happen. Things happen for a reason. And if you don't recognize the reason, that's just the same as having an opportunity and not seizing it. If you believe that you got lucky, I never believe that. If I get lucky, it's because I'm prepared, I'm working on something, or I know that I need to get in this room, or I need to try to make contact with this person, whatever. There's going to be some effort associated with that luck. We just don't get lucky. Trust and believe. I mean, we can have all kind of counts of different things that happen in our lives that we don't understand. And that happens often. All right? Let me try one more time. It says the invitation is sent. So I don't know what's going on Miss O'Neill. All right, back to what I was saying. So you can work equally hard. And if you don't have the opportunities, you won't be successful. And timing and luck play a larger role than a lot of people think. But I don't want to confuse the definition of what luck is. Luck is not just something that happens happenstance, just happens for no reason at all. You get lucky because there's something that guides you toward that particular outcome. And I believe that. Now, a common argument is hard work matters. This is what the majority of people think. But you can't take advantage of opportunities you never receive. Now, I'm going to stay right there for a minute. It said most people think like this. A common argument is that hard work matters. Of course, they agree. But you can't take advantage of opportunities you never receive. Now, let me say something about that. That may be somewhat true. But how about creating your own opportunities? You can create your own opportunities if you have that drive and that dedication. You know, I've never been one to wait for people to give me anything because I know how difficult it was for them to acquire it in the first place. And secondly, I have enough self-esteem and pride in myself that I want to try to figure it out. So you can create your own opportunity sometime. Keith, you want to say something about that? Because everybody believes that, you know, if you talk to people and you try to talk them into a certain degree of understanding, well, you know, yeah, Mrs. G, yeah, that happened for you because you was in the industry. Or that happened because you were in the military. No, there's hundreds of thousands of people that are in those industries, and it doesn't happen for them.
Yeah.
You know? So
I just believe everything you're saying is right, number one, and I know it to be true. You just have to choose your own path. And when you choose your own path as a person, you have your own movement moving forward. It's not based on who else is at what level. You're not even looking at other people. You're looking at what you're doing. Everybody can't be at the same level. And you can't you can't be jealous of people that are higher levels because they did something that you didn't do, and that's fine. Maybe you didn't even know to do what they did. Fine. Some of the stuff that they did might have been at that time and they came up, but you can't duplicate that in most cases. So you can't really get caught up in all that. You just have to understand what it is that you're doing and how you're moving and how you're going and be on the right frequency. So if you come across some of those people we're talking about that pioneer certain things, they say, you know what? You got the right traits, you got the right attitude, you got the right heart condition, mindset. Come over here and come through this door over here.
Absolutely.
And then once you get into that door, now you got to protect everything with your life because you got invited somewhere and you better not mess it up. And if you mess it up being stupid, there goes your opportunity. And that's what some people do. Let's talk about it. Some people have worked to get to a certain point and then they get in the door and they mess it up. Whether they were late, they weren't on, they didn't hit the deadline. They didn't do what they said they were going to do. So now they say, oh, well, I didn't get there. No, actually, you got to the door and they said, get back to us within 7 days and you didn't get back to them. So whose fault is that? And then you called them back late and said, oh, we moved on with somebody else. So let's talk about that part of it too. Some people work to get to a point and then they get to these points and they mess it up for just stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes.
That happens more often than we might want to admit. All right. Hey, Digibook Bazaar, and hey, Majestic Empress, and be excited. Hey, glad you all can make it. Hey, Carletta, how are you? Hey, but yeah, Keith, man, we go through that, especially if you're in a position. If you're in a position to help somebody, and you definitely have high hopes for certain people, and you give them the opportunity, man, you shouldn't have to. And I used to do this quite often because you try people. Man, you have to cross your fingers, man. I hope they don't screw this up. I hope they come through. I hope they show up. That kind of stuff. And that really shouldn't be your worry when you're trying to assist other people. You know what I mean? But when you're dealing with the wrong people.
Yes, agreed.
It can be very, very difficult, and it can turn you against trying to help other people. So you have to learn to have thick skin and not be deterred by individuals who don't take advantage of it. You have to keep looking.
They realize it's a numbers game. Everything is a numbers game. And to find the cream of the crop or the diamonds in the rough or the ones that are there, they're few and far between. So you have to be patient and understand that every seed you sow, that's also your growth. And I think that's the thing about life that people don't understand. All of us at whatever level, we're still growing. Growing never stops. So, you know what I'm saying? So now you're looking for people and you're saying, man, I just talked to these 10 guys. Why is nobody getting it? But then you get that one that gets it. But that one that gets it, now you link up with them, you could blow up 100-fold from that one connection, and people don't get that. And then they say you lucky, how you meet this person, how this happened. Well, then you should ask the other person the same thing. How did I meet them? It all happens because of just frequency. But you have to be innocent also. And this is the thing that I don't think people understand. When we talk about all this stuff that we do, like I was just talking about this with some other people the other day. There's some things that we're going to be doing coming up. I got to talk to you about some more things. But yeah, anyway, so I said, as far as hip hop goes, some of the stuff that I'm about to do, I do it for the culture. Like I'm a culture guy. Like I'm all about keeping things intact. You know what I mean? We grew up on some of these things. And a lot of people in life don't take things that way. They look at what they can take from something. They want to get into something and see what they can take. I'm one of those people that comes into situations. I'm trying to see what value I can add. I already know the money's going to come. I'm not even like worried about that in the sense of I'm thinking what value I can add to further lock in what it is that we're doing, because that is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's where people go wrong. They're chasing money matters. Don't get me wrong. Money matters, but it's not about the money. It's about what is your purpose behind that money. Okay. So you get this, you take care of this, you take care of that, you make more than what you need. You do that and do that. Then what? Then what? If you're talking to me about all depreciating assets, then I know you don't get it. We don't say get new rich and then blow some. That's gonna happen, fine. But after that, then what? What is it? And that's why so many people are so lost. These celebrities, you're like, why is this person going through this? Why are these people going to jail? Why did this person do this? Because they didn't have anything after that, in the sense of personally what exactly it is that they're doing. The money, you can't take it with you. Like Denzel said, you never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it with you. That's what
You
Denzel
got
said.
that
You know what I'm
part
saying?
right. You
Yeah.
got that part right. I never heard that one, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Denzel said that. He said you've never seen a U-Haul behind a hearse. He
Yeah.
said you can't take it with you. You know what I'm saying? Now that doesn't mean don't set up and prepare for future, right? We're talking about succession planning, legacy. Obviously, we're not saying that. But the point is, some people focus on like how you get all this money and then, well, they never live. Like, you know what I'm saying? Damn. What's the point of having all that?
Well, see, the other thing is too, Keith, and everybody listening, most people don't have a purpose. They really don't understand what being purpose driven is. It's totally different from having goals. You can have a goal to make $100,000 or $1,000,000 and accomplish that goal. But as Keith just asked, what happened next? What happens after you reach that goal? When we have a purpose in life, we can always find something to do with whatever we acquire or whatever we amass. That includes money, that includes time, that includes uh, charitable organization. We can always find something to do if we are purpose driven. The other thing is this: when we talk about success, and like I said, I've been in the music industry for over 30 something years. Hey, Adam, how are you? All right. Hey, Harold, Abraham, Randy, how are you guys doing? We're glad you're here. But here's the key to it all as well. Most people like to see success before they want to get involved, especially minority members. You know, I'm telling you, in business, we all come from the same place, and most of us lack the resources when we start a business or trying to become an entrepreneur, right? So we try to get people to go along and buy into the idea. I guarantee you can ask 100 people, and 98 won't even think twice about telling you no. They like to see the success because they don't want to be a part of the struggle. I've done different things in my life and said, okay, because I'm not just that type, I'm not going to stop just because I can't get what I want readily. I understand it all is a process, and the way I look at it, those that say no, they weren't designed to be a part of it anyway. So I don't look at it as being rejected. I look at it as being they weren't supposed to be here. But as soon as you become successful, or if you show people some degree of success, and I get it, nobody wants to take a chance with their little small earnings that they may have. They need it to live. But I'm saying at some point in your life, when we talk about our belief in God and the grand architect of the universe, at some point in your life, you're going to have to exercise a little faith. You're going to have to step out and hope and do everything that you can to make it successful. But I've seen so many different times where people will come and they'll backdoor you a lot of times. You go find somebody and they'll call around to see whether or not you really, hey, you still working on that project? Yeah, man, I'm about 90% funded right now. We're getting ready to go over to Europe and meet with these people. Hey, man, look, this is what's happening, and I meant to get back with you. You hear all of that stuff, right? So I caution people on that. When you invite people to your circle, you have to look at their behavior patterns. you have to look at their behavior patterns, because if they are repetitive, then that's who that individual is. All right, but let's get back on on the subject, because we could talk all day about that, because I've got gobs and gobs of stories where, people were invited to $1 million deals and had the wherewithal and the means to participate, but decided that they didn't want to do it. And then when it pops off, they come back, hey, look, y'all still need this? No, we good over here. So let's be careful. Be careful, because it will happen. Now, so we know that opportunity determines where we start. When we talk about which one is most important in success, hard work or opportunities, remember, opportunity determines where you start. Hard work determines how far you go from there. Hard work without opportunity can lead to frustration. When you're working hard and you're not getting the opportunity, you can become very frustrated. And we've all experienced that, I'm sure. Hey, Big Love, what's happening? Hey, Tyree, what's happening? So we all have experienced that, when we don't have the opportunity after we work so hard. Opportunity without hard work can lead to wasted potential. As I was speaking earlier, if you work hard and you don't recognize the opportunities that are in front of you, then it's a wasted opportunity, and it's a waste of your potential. Listen, the people who achieve the greatest success often have a combination of both. They have a strong work ethic, they work hard, and they somehow gain the opportunities necessary to be successful. Here's an important question for us to answer. Now, this is trivial, so put your thinking caps on. If two people work equally hard, but one succeeds because they had better opportunities, let me say that part. That's the first part of it. If two people work equally hard, but one succeeds because they had better opportunities, is that success primarily the result of their hard work or their circumstances? What do y'all think about that? Two people work equally hard, right? But one succeeds because they had better opportunities. Is that success primarily the result of their hard work or their circumstances? There's no right or wrong answer. All right. Hey, Louise.
Well, I'll say this. Opportunities do matter, but
absolutely.
But here's the question. What about those people like Tupac talked about, those roses that grow from the concrete that had no opportunity and they made their own?
That's what I was saying from the beginning, Keith.
Right. So
you can create your own.
Yeah. So I don't believe fully in the whole sit back and wait or do whatever. That's why that's why I like the boy Wembanyama. Because you know what he said? Victor Wembanyama Spurs, he said, first of all, why am I going to wait for something that I could do right now? And just because we're young, that's even better, because we don't even know. There's no limits to what we can do because we don't have no limitations. You know what I'm saying? So most people put limitations on themselves and they base what they're trying to do off of what somebody else did or somebody else said. And as the notorious classic, they said, who is they? Like, who is they? They said this. Who's they? What do you mean they said?
Yeah.
So I think that people look at opportunity in the sense of what someone else or what doors someone else is opening for them instead of looking at opportunity as, look here, I am the opportunity. I create the trend. I don't ride the trend. I'm the opportunity. So you know what? Let me believe in myself and roll with it. And guess what? If it's just me, I'll be a one-man army. I'm one of them dudes. I'll be a one-man army forever. I don't care because I don't want a whole bunch of yes men around me. I need soldiers and wolves that got their own things that's saying what they saying. And they say, yo, we ride with you. That's it. No, I don't want no weakness around me. I don't want no people with no guts, no backbone. Nah, man. Tell me what your idea is. Tell me how you come in. And then, you know what I mean? We could talk about putting something together. Because now I know you're on the same wavelength.
Absolutely.
And if I gotta stay by myself, guess what? I ain't lonely. I ain't all sitting at the house. Oh man, how come nobody wants to ride with me? I'm sitting there thinking about why I got a list like Billy Madison of the people that I'm gonna show once I pull it off. Oh, you didn't want to ride with me? Oh, all right. Okay, I'll make sure I drive the Ferrari near your house and catch your ring camera. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. I'm one of them. Call me petty, but call me petty. But I get motivated when people don't believe in me or they don't believe what I'm saying. Yo, that's the worst thing you can do. Now I'm going to do it to prove you wrong. Forget why I'm already doing it. Now I got to prove you wrong. So I'm not even sleeping at night. I'm like I'm going to pull up on this person. Yeah.
And that's the motivation right there for me. That's the motivation. Because and then it's just something that drives me deeper.
Yeah.
I can't get the support that I need. Then I just go within myself and say, okay, I've got to do this on my own. But I'm built that way. So
yes.
I'm not even worried about it.
Me neither. But you can't come back to me after I build it. That's my thing. There's no comeback. You can't come back after it's moving. Oh yeah, no. I already moved on. That ship sailed. It's over. You can't come back.
I was saying, Keith, when you people like to see the success first. They don't want to participate because of the hard work and what they don't know that's required. So they may feel that it may be more than they can handle. But you don't live your life that way. Not the way I wasn't taught that way. Whatever, first of all, if somebody needs help, we were taught to try to help them if we are able to help them ourselves.
Sure.
But a lot of people who don't have that type of mentality, they don't want to participate in anything out of their comfort level. If they don't understand it, and then you've got the ones that will worry you to death as to what we need to do or what's going on or how do we do this. Y'all hear me out. Sometimes when you aren't driving the train and somebody's invited you to a situation, you don't have to know from front A to front B. I've dealt with people like that, man. I ain't got time to explain everything. Invited you to a situation. Yeah, I ain't got time to from front A. Yeah. How can I explain something to you from start to finish when we haven't even gotten to the end? You understand? And most people don't understand that there's a process in all of this. So if you're gonna ride with me, you're gonna ride with me till the wheels fall off, or till we succeed, or till we fail. Either way is good. You know what I mean? Either way is okay. So I just don't get it, Keith. But we got the world that's full of those type people than anything else. So, but
I get it because they don't have faith, Mr. G. We talked about it before. Faith is an action word in the sense of, so that means that you're putting the work in. A lot of people pray like it. They pray like it depends on God, but then they act like their work doesn't depend on them. So you can't get the blessing. I don't care how much you pray. You can go to God and pray and sweat blood and cry tears of blood. If after you pray, you go and do nothing, you ain't getting what you pray for. That's just that simple. And that's why I hate some of the beliefs in the sense of,
Yeah.
how people are taught, how we've been taught and trained. No, that ain't spirituality. Spirituality ain't praying for what it is and then I give it to God and that's it. Now I can go to sleep. No, what do you mean give it to God and you go to sleep? Like, I mean, I'm not carrying that burden. No, actually, you're supposed to carry that burden because that's where your strength comes from, and that's what he said. But because they told you to pray and do it that way, the infamous they, you messing up your life. And people don't get it.
And you are really throwing away your blessing because the
Yes.
grand architect, he wants to bless you. All you got to do is
Oh,
make sure
man.
that you're interested and that you really want to do whatever it is you're trying to do. A lot of people do things with and don't have the 100% commitment that's necessary.
No, they don't. They're not committed to themselves
They want to
first.
try it. They want to
Yeah.
try it and they want to break. If they want it to break and they haven't done all that they can do. So they want to sit back and say, oh, is this going to work? No, man, you got that. It's like, man, when I'm at the blackjack table, I'm going for broke. Now I got my limits. When I'm done, but I'm going for broke. I'm gambling hard. My faith is within me. And you know what I'm saying? Of course, with the grand architect who created me. So with that, I can't lose. That's just the way I look at it. Hey, Muhammad. All right. So check this out. So I proposed the question
Hey, y'all.
to you. Hey, are you in now? I don't think so, because I see a little red and blue bubble going
Man,
around on your screen. But anyway,
you
so
do.
like I said, the
I'm gonna
question
just
was,
listen in.
okay, all right, if two people are work equally hard, but one succeeds because they have better opportunities, is that success primarily the result of their hard work or their circumstance? Now, let me give you the straightforward answer. The straightforward answer is effort is held constant. Effort is held constant. Both people worked equally hard. The variable that changed the outcome was the opportunity. Therefore, the differences in success came from the circumstances. It could be access, timing, connection, resources, education, or even love. So in that particular case, both being equal and worked equally hard, but the one that presented and was presented with the opportunity, they became successful. And that's the variable, the opportunity. Now that makes sense to everybody. However, think about this. That doesn't mean the successful person didn't earn their success. See, because here we go. You know how people are. Well, he got it because he had the opportunity and I didn't get it. So therefore, he don't deserve it. He or she does not deserve it. And we're going to distill that right now. Just because the opportunity presented themselves to that individual, it doesn't mean that they got lucky. They worked hard, but we don't know what other influences that came into play. They may have wanted it more than the other individual, or it may not have been the other individual's time. With purpose, we understand one thing, that if we're true to our purpose, we don't worry about the timing of it. We worry about the success. If we start worrying about the time, we can miss opportunities because you may quit because it didn't happen fast enough for you. Amen. Try it one more time. Hey, Mario. 901 Rand, how are you? Shala, how are you? Kier, how are you? DJ Kiki, how are you? Okay. All right, so just keep that in mind. Now, even if that person received the opportunity, they still had to recognize that it was an opportunity. How many times have you seen people, and you clearly on the outside looking in, you can see that that's a missed opportunity. When somebody tells you, hey, look here, we go over here, and this is what we're going to do, blase, blase. And that person said, no, I got to go and do this. And the other individual said, man, you crazy. You need to take advantage of that opportunity. I'm going to tell you, it's all good. We've all seen that. We've all dealt with individuals who can always find an excuse to do absolutely nothing. All right? So keep in mind, just because that individual, they both work hard, and he or she got that opportunity, it does not mean that they don't deserve that success. And it doesn't mean that they just got lucky. All right? If you don't recognize an opportunity, you can't take advantage of it. Now, many people are given opportunities and they fail. And they fail because they don't capitalize on the opportunity. So many people have opportunities that they don't take advantage of. So let me ask another question. Which would you rather have? Which would you rather have? Would you rather have opportunity or a good work ethic? I'll let that marinate for a little bit. Would you rather have opportunity or a good work ethic when you have to choose one?
Good work ethic, because just like I said earlier, you're going to create your own opportunities from what you're working for, and your purpose may be different. And because you're one of one, what you're doing may not be what anybody else is doing. So how can somebody else give you an opportunity for something that's never been created? Right. So good work ethic, that's the key, because you will create your own opportunities, and someone else at a higher level will see your work ethic and they'll respect it. And you'll remind them of themselves. They're like, you know what? I get it. That's my answer.
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you 100%. Many people have had great opportunities and still failed. Think about that. When we used to do showcases and tours and doing all of the signing parties and going to all of these fancy dinners and award shows, you could see people who clearly did not deserve to be there. And you could see some people that you knew coming up through the industry had the opportunity and they didn't take advantage of it. Many times in the military, we had people who you cried when you heard that they did not prepare for the promotion board, because you have so much faith in them and you hope that they get it. But you got people who won't prepare, who really think that they can get in there and kind of, what they call it, when you skim through it and whitewash it and just try to get through something and hope for the best outcome without preparation. You got a lot of people like that. So there are many people who had great opportunities and they still fail. They failed because they didn't capitalize on the opportunity. As simple as that. On the other hand, many people who have worked very, very hard have failed as well. And that's because they never received the opportunity or did not recognize the opportunity at all. Many did not receive it or they did not recognize it. And that's the reason they fail, even though they work hard. Some fail to seize opportunities because they feel it's not or didn't take advantage of smaller opportunities because they felt that they weren't big enough. Now, I've seen many people do that. I always revert back to what my mom used to teach us. You got to crawl before you walk. So an example, someone might feel investing $50 a month is too small because their goal is too big or unrealistic. So if I'm looking for $1 million, I'm counting the time again. So if I'm only invested $50, then it's going to take me years and years. And that's discouraging for someone who doesn't understand how money works and investing. If I'm trying to get $1 million in 30 days, and I'm an average Joe, I'm not connected, I don't have any opportunities that's going to allow me to be in the room with that type of money, then your expectations are unrealistic. So those are the reasons why people fail, even if they have the opportunity. Now, if I had to choose one, I'm with Keith all day long. I choose a good work ethic. I say that because opportunities can be lost, they can be taken away, or never arrive when we expect them to arrive. So if we're looking at opportunities, again, some of us are very impatient. Some of us need it right now. And some of us don't want to go the long haul. So I choose work ethic because that opportunity can be lost, taken away, or never arrive. A strong work ethic stays with us and helps us create opportunities ourselves. If we have a strong work ethic, we can create our own opportunity. Now, here's the problem that I see. Everyone wants to remain comfortable. In the order, in my lodge, I teach, learn to be uncomfortable. Learn to be uncomfortable. Because you're not going to die. Being uncomfortable is always temporary. So if we can get outside of our comfort zones, then that's going to allow us to make more difficult decisions. And it's going to catapult us into a whole different stratosphere. If we stay in that comfort level, we will stay where we are. What's the definition of stupidity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. You can't expect something different to happen if you aren't doing anything different. That's the key. Now, with that being said, there's an important caveat here. Opportunity without work ethic can produce temporary success. I don't think you heard that. Opportunity without work ethic can produce temporary success. Work ethic without opportunity can produce what? Work ethic without opportunity produces frustration. We all get frustrated when we work hard and don't get the opportunity that we think or feel we deserve. Work ethic plus opportunity is where exceptional success usually happens. So the combination of the two is where exceptional success usually happens. Success is rarely the result of hard work alone. Success is rarely the result of hard work alone. And I think all of us can attest to that because we work hard and I give people the benefit of the doubt. I know that most people are good, loving human beings and they are trying to do the best they can. So I give them the benefit of the doubt. So it's rarely the result of your work ethic alone or opportunity alone. Opportunity can open doors that effort cannot, but hard work is what allows a person to walk through those doors and make the most of those opportunities. All right. Now, here's another question. Now, I came up with these scenarios because they intrigued me as I thought about it. But this is a much tougher question that's designed to stimulate some thinking. Y'all ready for it? All right, here you go. Would you rather be the hardest working person in a room full of average opportunities or an average worker in a room full of extraordinary opportunities? One more time. Would you rather be the hardest working person in a room full of average opportunities or an average worker in a room full of extraordinary opportunities?
Hardest worker in a room full of average opportunities because I'll turn those average opportunities into above average opportunities just because of what I bring to the table. And people ain't even gonna realize, they're gonna like, I never thought about that. Oh wow. Yeah, I know. Hardest worker in the room with the average opportunities because those average opportunities, depending on how many they are,
Right.
You can become a millionaire off that.
Yeah, that's true.
If you see it right.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with you on that. But here's my thing. Me personally,
You said the average in the room full of, okay.
an average person,
Mm-hmm.
you're a hardworking
I
person.
just gave the wrong answer, but go ahead, tell me why I'm wrong.
No wrong answers, Keith. No wrong answers. The question would be, would you rather be the hardest working person in a room full of average opportunities? You're the hardest working person, and you're in a room full of average opportunities.
Now I just heard it a second time the way you said average opportunities. I got you. Okay,
Right,
like I said, I was wrong. There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Or an average worker, someone who is just average, in a room full of extraordinary opportunities. All right, let me give you my take on it. If I considered myself average, if I did, I would want to be in a room full of extraordinary opportunities. If I considered myself average, I would want to be in a room full of extraordinary opportunity. Why? Because extraordinary opportunities can create opportunities and outcomes hard work alone cannot. That's the key to it. If I'm in a room and I have some average opportunities, then I'm only going to get outcomes that are going to be average because the opportunities are only average. I'm in a room and everybody's giving jobs to work at McDonald's. I'm in a room where they're selecting top level managers for Fortune 500 companies. I'm going to get one of them jobs as one of them top executives if I'm in that room. If I'm in the rooms that they're hiring for McDonald's, and there's nothing wrong with that, then that's as far as I can go in that particular room. So that's the difference. The extraordinary opportunities are normally bigger than the average opportunities that we receive. It gives us access. This is what extraordinary opportunities do. It gives us access to influential people. It gives us access to capital, education, and timing. Remember from the beginning, I said most people who are trying to be successful, who are hard workers, what they're missing is resources, mentorships, those being in the room with those people who can make some things happen, some movers and shakers. See, but I don't look at it as being a person, and so let me rephrase that a little bit. I don't look at an average person being able to capitalize on extraordinary opportunities. So that's why I say, if I were an average person, I would want to be in that room, because in my mind, on the average person's mind, they feel they could get more. But I consider myself not average. So if you put me in the room as an average person, I'm going to shake something loose. And I'm going to capitalize on those extraordinary.
So I was right then. You tried to trick me, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I had to make it come full circle.
I already know. I see how you do. You got the suspense. You like a movie director. I got you, man.
Yeah. Keep it exciting, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you funny.
No, it's Go ahead, Keith.
No. I agree with you in the way you said it. Is that if you're basing it on the two scenarios, yes. Right. If you looked at yourself as average, the way you broke it down,
right,
I'm with you 100%. Yeah.
But see, you already know that we aren't average people. So, I mean, listen, and that's not bragging or anything like that. We don't do average things. You know what I mean? So if you're talking about selling diamonds and traveling over the world and music and commodities and all of these different things, the average person is not doing that. So, and that has nothing to do with them being less than. It's just that those opportunities, those skill sets exist for a reason. And we have to take advantage of it and recognize that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's been my experience that what average people with exceptional ideas lack the most is capital. They lack what's necessary to become successful. They're not aligned properly with the people needed for success. I don't care how much, listen, you can have the greatest idea. If you have Fortune 500 or Fortune 400 company ideas, and you don't have the capital to launch it or get it off, or you know someone who has the capital or the connections, then it means nothing. It means nothing. There are a lot of people that died with great ideas, and it ain't because they weren't smart. It was because they lacked the capital and the resources necessary to launch it. There's a reason that most businesses fail within the first 2 years. And it ain't because they aren't great ideas. You've got to establish the brand. You've got to make money. Just to keep the doors open. We aren't even talking about being profitable. So those ideas may be great, but if you don't have the capital, if you don't have one of them sugar daddies or whatever you want to call them to finance your operation, it's going to fail because you need money. I don't care how hard you work or how many sob stories you go and you got a brick and mortar and you can't pay it. That banker might sympathize with you and give you an extra 30 days. But if you can't come up with it, no matter how much he loves you because it's business, or how much he likes your work ethic, those doors are going to close. And we have to understand the reality of how things work. So that's been my experience. I mean, I may be wrong, but the reason that most fail, and I know some people with great ideas. When I was up and coming before I got into business and did all the things that I did, my toughest problem was coming up with money and trying to get someone to invest in me and believe in my ideas. So once you get over that hurdle, things get a lot easier. All right? And again, some people can't even recognize opportunities when they see them. It looks foreign to them. It looks foreign to them. You can be the most intelligent person on the planet. You can be brilliant. But if you do not have access to people that are influential, people that believe in you or believe in your idea, because everybody won't believe in you. But if you got a money maker, they'll believe in your idea. And either way, it's fine. If you can't get that idea out, no one will ever know about it. There's no opportunity to present your talent or your beauty to the world. Think about the Cinderella story. Remember Cinderella? Beautiful prince. They kept her princess, kept her locked up in the basement, wouldn't let her go to the ball. But when she went to the ball, she was the most beautiful person there. But she got out of that basement or that dungeon, wherever they was keeping her. All right. Okay, Keith, if you got anything else you want to add, go ahead, because I'm about to close it out and catch the tail end of this game.
No, I appreciate you, man. Look, all I can say is I hope that everybody understands and everything that we talk about at the end of the day, it's about you and your mind. It's about you versus yourself. You have to decide what it is you want, what levels you want, what goals and dreams you want. Like, everybody limits themselves. Some people do, not all. But you have to decide. I'm one of those people, I believe in the impossible. But when we say the word impossible, that's only because just like we talked about the classic, they said it was impossible. So it's why what I'm saying impossible. And I can tell you this, for me to meet Mr. G, I beat all the odds because I ain't come up in none of these networks. I shouldn't have even met him. I'm just telling y'all on the live, I'm a classic example of what we talk. I met him by accident. When I say by accident, it just means that what I said, I had goals and dreams that were way above me. And when you have dreams that scare you, that's when you know you're going the right direction. If your dreams don't make you a little nervous, where you're like not on edge and you don't live with that kind of edginess, you're not you're not calibrating your dreams high enough. You're like limiting yourself. You're staying in your comfort zone. when you have a dream and then you can't sleep, or it wakes you up because you got an idea, or you say, I've been doing this for how many years, why it ain't come yet? That's when you're on the right track. And that's all I'm saying to everybody. Like, you got to really understand what it is that we're saying. And when you're in that space, but you've accepted it, you embrace it, and you learn how to live comfortable in the uncomfortable, because chasing your dreams is going to be uncomfortable. Is this what Mr. G was talking about earlier? You ain't going to hit the top of where you're trying to go sitting there drinking martinis and sitting on the couch. You got to leave your house. You got to leave your surroundings. You got to leave everything that's comfortable to touch these other people that you don't know who they are, that need to know who you are. And when you learn how to develop that to live comfortable, listen, Mr. G, I ain't at your level. You already know. But man, do I know how to live comfortable and uncomfortable?
Oh yeah.
Man, I didn't mastered it, bro. I didn't
Already
mastered
know.
it. Like, it doesn't even bother me, really.
Right.
Like, I get annoyed sometimes and I'll be like, man, you slipping, or I let people get me all caught up in the matrix and then I get mad. I'm like, why are you getting mad? You get mad because you chose to get mad. What they did didn't make you mad. You chose to get mad because you could choose not to get mad for what they did. So anyway, go ahead, Mr. G.
Very well
You got
said,
it.
Keith. That was very well said, and it's nothing but the truth. We got to get to the point where we understand that we control our own destiny, and despite our circumstances, there are ways that we can be successful. We can be successful. You have to connect properly, have the right heart condition, and you'll often hear me speak of that, but your heart condition determines a lot of goodness that happens in your life. If you don't have that, the only thing you're doing is trying to fake people out, because you can't fake the grand architect of the universe out. If you have a good heart condition, things are going to happen for you. So anyway, in conclusion, if two people have the same work ethic, the one with the greater opportunities will always achieve more. Yet, opportunities can come and they can go. Opportunities can come and they can go. But a strong work ethic remains a lifelong. Let me say that again. It remains a lifelong asset. Keep us talking about assets and liabilities a little earlier. It could become your greatest asset. In the end, opportunity may influence where a person starts, but character, discipline, and persistence have a greater influence on how far they will ultimately go. So in essence, you need both of them, but the deal breaker is the hard work. Develop that hard work ethic, believe in what you're doing, continue to connect properly. Not with them folks out there who's faking the phone. Get around the right people. And don't be afraid. Listen, I've had situations where I met some of the greatest people because everybody else was afraid to approach them because of who they were. So don't be afraid. If you believe in what you're doing, keep moving, and you're going to meet the right people who are going to assist you along that journey. But anyway, we love y'all. Thank you all for joining, all 1.4K. Take care of yourselves until next Wednesday. I'll be the same. Au revoir, May, and thank you for joining us on We Talk. We'll see you all next Wednesday at the same time. Take care.